Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. When we think about the deep past, the Paleolithic plains, the Mesozoic jungles, or the ancient oceans, we often picture them visually. We see the shapes of the dinosaurs, the movements of early hominins, or the stark, silent landscapes. But there's a massive dimension missing from this historical picture: sound. We tend to default to the myth of a quiet history, a world before human industrialization that was somehow muted. But the past wasn't silent, it was just a different kind of loud. The key question is, how do we hear the sound of something that hasn't existed for millions of years? We can't use microphones, but fortunately, we can use nature's own perfect, fossilized biological recording device, the ear. The emerging field dedicated to this quest is known as Paleo-acoustics, and its focus is on some of the tiniest, most complex bones ever fossilized. The auditory structures, primarily the ossicles and the auditory bulla. The ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stapes, are the three tiny bones in the middle ear, and in mammals, they are the smallest bones in the body. Crucially, they are exceptionally well preserved in the fossil record. Why? Because the surrounding, often highly dense bone structure, particularly the auditory bulla, protected them. This bulla, which houses the middle and inner ear components, is often denser and structurally distinct from the rest of the skull, meaning it fossilizes reliably, acting like an impenetrable time capsule. Here is where the physics meets evolution. The size, shape, density, and articulation of these tiny bones dictate the specific range of frequencies a creature can hear. Think of it like a biological equalizer set by millions of years of natural selection. If a creature lived in a dense, noisy environment, like a jungle canopy, its ear structures might be tuned to filter out specific mid-range ambient noises while amplifying crucial low frequencies, the deep rustle of a hidden predator, or the infrasound communication used by large animals. By using techniques like micro-CT scanning and finite element analysis, FEED, scientists can create precise 3D models of these fossilized ear parts. They then input the physical properties, density, stiffness, geometric angles, into simulation software. This allows them to precisely model the transfer function of the ancient ear, essentially determining which sound waves resonated most efficiently, and therefore, which frequencies the animal was most sensitive to. The implications of this work are stunning. Consider early marine mammals, like ancient cetaceans. Their auditory bulla is often extraordinarily dense and completely isolated from the main skull structure. This geometry suggests a profound adaptation to the deep ocean, tuned specifically for ultra-low frequency, long-distance hydroacoustic communication. By reversing this engineering, we can quantify the ambient noise level of the ancient oceans, before boat engines and sonar, and understand the acoustic space available for their communication. Now, let's look at land animals, particularly our own lineage. Analyzing the ear bones of hominids like Australopithecus and early Homo has provided subtle but critical clues about their communication and risk assessment. Studies suggest early humans had excellent sensitivity in the mid-range frequencies, exactly where human vocalization lies. But they also show differences in their maximum upper frequency limits compared to modern humans. This doesn't just confirm they were listening to each other. It helps us determine the dominant background sounds of their savannas. The absence of specific hearing ranges is often as informative as their presence. If an ecosystem's creatures are consistently not tuned to hear very high frequencies, it tells us that those high-pitched noises were likely non-existent or unimportant in the survival landscape of the time. Paleo-acoustics ultimately allows us to map ancient environmental noise pollution. Before the rise of humanity, the noise floor was dominated by natural elements: wind, water, geological activity, and biology. The constant chatter of insects, the splash of rivers, the rumbling of distant volcanoes. By compiling data from an entire ecosystem's worth of fossil ears, from rodents to apex predators, scientists can begin to generate a synthetic soundscape, a digital reconstruction of the world 50 million years ago. It's the ultimate evolutionary soundtrack, proving that even the hardest, most silent fossils are whispering stories about sound. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.